So in this video, we're gonna talk about 5 things that you should never, ever, and I mean never, do with your RV. But you would be surprised how many times we've actually seen people doing just these things. So you're gonna wanna stay tuned. Hi, my name is Charity, and Ben, my husband, and my 2 kids, our dog, our 2 cats, we've been traveling the US for 5 years now in our RV, and we have learned a lot along the way. And so the reason that we have this channel, that we started this channel, is to be able to share with you our experiences, the things that we've learned, great places to visit, fun campgrounds, great food, and more. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, because we've got a lot of fun travel videos still coming up yet this year that I know that you're going to want to see. So let's jump right into it, and let's talk about the 5 things that you should never, ever do with your RV. Now, thing number 1, and we have seen this happen over and over again, is overloading your RV. So basically what that is not really paying attention to how much weight that your RV can safely carry and just loading it to the gills.
I got the TV, honey. I got the lamp, honey.
You got the lamp?
All I need is this lamp.
You know, you gotta have a big, huge vacuum.
This is all I need.
And some flowers.
Is this all gonna fit?
We'll make it fit. No, you might need to iron something.
I got the surfboard, honey. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. This thing is huge. All right, right here.
This. That's where I have to draw the line.
Why?
Now, this is gonna vary a lot depending upon, do you have a travel trailer? Do you have a 5th wheel? Do you have a Class A, Class C, B van? There's so many different RVs that are out there. And so it's really all over the board as far as how much can you really bring with you safely in an RV? Well, every single RV has weight ratings. They've got a capacity that they put on the label from the manufacturer that tells you what can you safely carry when it comes to how much weight. A really good idea is to every once in a while go to a CAT scale and weigh your RV while it's fully loaded with what you would typically carry. Now, you can find a CAT scale at most truck stops. They're very, very easy to find. And that way you can just make sure. Now, here's the deal. If you overload your RV, here's the danger. If it is a travel trailer or some type of towable, you really are running the risk of potential excessive sway in that particular unit, which is just an accident waiting to happen. The other thing is it can cause damage to axles, to suspension, all sorts of things that are really gonna just cost you a lot of money down the road. And the other thing that's probably the most scary to us that we have seen start to happen within the RV community is if people do end up in an accident, one of the things that insurance companies are investigating is, was it overloaded? Because you have to remember, insurance companies at the end of the day really are a for-profit organization. They're about making themselves money. So if they don't have to pay out a claim, well, let's just put that out there. But you don't want to do anything where you put yourself in a potential to have a claim denied because of maybe a potential mistake. The number 2 thing you should never, ever do with your RV is to leave the awning out when you leave. We have seen more than once where awnings were taken off in windstorms, a high gust situation. Even if you have a wind sensor on your RV, or even if you have it staked down and somewhat secured, it's just peace of mind when you leave the campground when your awning is not left out. Let me tell you a little story that we experienced personally. We left our awning out when we were newer RVers and then went into the town where we were at to go watch a movie. And lo and behold, we're in a movie. I get an alert on my phone that says there is a severe thunderstorm warning and tornado watch for the area that we're in. And unfortunately, really couldn't enjoy the movie after that because the only thing I'm thinking of the whole time is, oh my gosh, our awning is out. Is the wind sensor gonna work? Is it not gonna work? Because you can't rely on those. Do yourself a favor before that you leave the campground, put your awning in. You'll just have more peace of mind. Now, the number 3 thing you should never do with your RV is fail to make sure that it's properly level. See what we did there? Here's the thing, when your RV is not properly leveled, it can cause a lot of issues. The main issue that it can cause is with refrigerators. Now, RV absorption style refrigerators that have the ammonia in them, or even residential style refrigerators, can definitely have problems if they're trying to operate when the RV is not level. Now, we experienced this firsthand and made a huge mistake. We were mooch docking at a friend's house that had a driveway on an incline and didn't think to turn off our fridge, didn't think anything about not being level. And at 3 a.m., when I am not thinking clearly, the fridge starts throwing an error because it's not cooling. And I just went ahead and, reset things, which turned into a whole ordeal, the fridge going into lockout mode. It was not a fun time, and we were not happy campers. So do yourself a favor, make sure your RV is level. This can also cause issues with not draining properly with sinks, or when you go to dump the tanks if it's not level. A lot of problems can happen. So tip number 5 is something that we've seen so many people do, and I'm going to be sharing about that in just a few minutes. Now, the number 4 thing that you should never, ever, ever do in your RV is decide that you want to drive your RV, or accidentally drive your RV down a not RV friendly road. One of the ways that we try to avoid that scenario is by using this Garmin RV specific GPS. Now, we can program our RV height and our length into this, and it helps keep us out of scenarios where that might happen. We cannot tell you how many times that we've either seen this firsthand or seen pictures and videos circulated online of RVs that tried to make a hairpin turn and they were just too long and bad things happened, people. The other thing is that you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you somehow need to turn around and there is absolutely no way to turn around. We accidentally put ourselves into one of those scenarios when we very first started RVing with our first RV, where we had pulled into a truck stop to get fuel and mistakenly didn't follow the sign that said trucks this way, meaning like semi trucks, and we followed the car sign and we put ourselves into a very tight spot, no pun intended, but literally a tight spot, and really couldn't maneuver our way out of there without dropping our car dolly. It was just a huge, hairy ordeal. So we learned our lesson very quickly with that, to make sure that you know where you're going, you know what that particular exit might look like before you decide to go that direction. Now, you might have remembered a situation that actually happened in the RV community earlier this year in 2022, where a couple were following their GPS. It took them down a not RV friendly road. They became stranded and the situation did not turn out very well. You want to make sure that you are taking your RV on an RV friendly route. Okay, now the number 5 thing that you should never, ever, and I mean ever, do in your RV is something that we have seen so many RVers actually doing. And that is when you set up at a campsite and you go to hook up your RV and you get to those full hookups and you open your waste tank valves and you leave them both open, that is going to cause a problem. So leaving that black tank valve open versus closed at a campground is something that we have seen so many RVers do, and this is a big time mistake. Let me explain a little bit as to why. You are going to get something called the pyramid of poo, or the poop pyramid, or the mountain of poo. Really, you can just call it whatever you want. But one thing that you have to remember when it comes to waste tanks in an RV that is not like a household toilet is you have a waste tank and you need liquid in this waste tank to help dissolve the solids that are in this waste tank so that you don't clog your waste tank. Leaving that black tank valve closed is actually going to be the proper way to keep both liquids and solids in there where it's mixing together. It's actually digesting that waste. We use a product from Unique Camping and Marine called Digest It, and they're drop-in pods that we put into our toilet. It helps to break down any waste, but it also helps to keep any of those black tank smells down. What if you have made this mistake? Or what if maybe you are currently making this mistake? Or what if right now your black tank is clogged? Well, This is where this product from Unique also comes in. So this is actually a tank cleaner, but not only is this a tank cleaner, which is gonna help keep your sensors and things like that working properly, this actually will unclog your holding tanks. If you do by chance have a pyramid of poo, or you have excessive smells, or you have got anything going on in your black tank where you are thinking, maybe my tank isn't super clean, maybe I have a clog, maybe I do have that pyramid of poo building up, this is the product that you want to put in there. So you put this in with plenty of water. It does need about 12 hours. So ideally, you'd put it in, put in some water, drive to your next destination, keep that black tank valve closed, give it overnight, and then empty that black tank. Just remember, when you hook up, black tank stays closed unless you are actively emptying it. Other than that, the black tank should be closed at all times.
Okay, go.
Oh, that wasn't loud enough, was it?
There you go.
Is that better? Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Telling people not to be overweight. Really?
I wanted to go off more about the other couple. Okay, now the number 5. Are you sure we're ready? Like I was going and then I saw you touching the camera.
Yep.
So hey. So
Ready,
hey.
set, go. Action.
So there is a ton that is going on, and we want to make sure you stay updated on it all. Make sure you go to our website, gratefulglamper.com, click the Stay Inspired button. We also have brand new merch, so make sure you check that out while you are there as well. This is a video all about things not to do with your RV. We have a whole nother video of things you should not be doing at a campground either, so I'm going to put that right up here. If we don't see you out on the road or around the campground, we will see you in the next video.